Continuing on with 1981 in film, Escape from New York is a pretty good John Carpenter thriller, but what really stands out about it was that it was one of the best director-star collaborations of the 80s. Carpenter never got a better leading man than Kurt Russell, and watching Russell, you would never believe that this guy was primarily a Disney star before this. Hey, I mean, he was even doing voice work on Fox and the Hound, which came out a week before. But Escape from New York is a thrilling bit of dystopian pulp cinema featuring one of the most badass, malcontent anti-heroes ever to grace the screen, complete with eye patch, a great mane of hair, and a pervasive, cynical discontent. Russell Snake Plissken is the perfect man to throw into the anarchy of this movie. He's already seen enough to know and anticipate every part of the mission already going to shit before everyone else does. Carpenter sets his film in 1997, where because crime has risen nearly 400%, the whole city of New York has been blocked off with walls and mines. It's now a burned out hellhole of overturned cars, trash, roving gangs, fires, and all out lawlessness. Basically, it's what the people of New York think of New Jersey. An issue arises when Air Force One, carrying the president, played by Donald Pleasance, is hijacked by freedom fighters, and his escape in a big red orb leaves him stranded in the very place no one wants him to be, the Big Apple. Faced with no other alternative, the police, led by Commissioner Bob Houck, played by Lee Van Cleef, decided best to fight fire with Plissken, a former Special Forces soldier turned bank robber looking at a long prison stretch. He doesn't think much of this president, his imperialist regime, or anybody really. His advice:
get a new president.
Pardon sounds pretty good, and getting the injectable exploding charges that Houck gets implanted into his neck out is even better. Snake will have 22 hours to work his way through New York, where the president is being held for ransom by a colorful character called the Duke. The Duke is played by Isaac Hayes, and he's driven around the city in a limousine with small little chandeliers hanging from the front and back. One of the joys of the New York sequences is how quirky everyone is, from Ernest Borgnine's talkative cabbie, Harry Dean Stanton's survivalist and demolitions expert Brain, and Adrienne Barbeau as a liberation fighter named Maggie. Great detail has also gone into creating a city that's been lost to destruction and violence. Production designer Joe Alves uses nighttime alleys and corners, cloaking everyone in gloomy, suspenseful shadow, only broken up by a fun little wrestling match between Snake and the Duke's mountainous henchmen, or Snake walking into a theater only to see a bunch of roughnecks taking in a show, seemingly of men in drag. It's New York. Broadway will never die. Of course, the film has action, fistfights, and shootouts, and the like, but what's sort of interesting about those is that they're sort of the least provocative thing here. Snake and his sneering machismo, and the urban squalor, all coupled with the gangs and their hierarchy, and the small group of weirdly appealing freedom fighters, take way more of the cake here. Really can't be overstated just how great Russell is here, who encompasses every bit of the mystery, the gruff cool, and the whole idea that this guy is a legend who walks to his own beat even as the world collapses around him. Snake becomes the cowboy of the new dystopia, staring guys down, getting off cool one-liners, and living by his own code where his disgust for the elite seems like a guiding principle. There's no cooler guy to face the apocalypse with. I've checked. I've seen a lot of movies. That's why I'm going B, guys. But that is my opinion. Love to hear yours. Let me know down below there. Also, if you could, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and I do hope to see you back next time. I thank you so much. Bye-bye.